is your life, so always be strong. Keep moving on. Your dreams will always come true. You'll get there if you believe. So rise up and be strong. Hold on and take your place. So rise up and be strong. Hold on and take your place. You're listening to Pastor Larry Ajanaku.
And today, we are looking at persistence, which is a major key. When you're on the right direction, come to realize that not everybody that is in the right direction has the tendency to forge ahead. So, we now look at persistence. There was a picture that was on the screen before of a man called Darby. And yeah, we can put that on the screen again. I'll just start with the story of this man called Darby. Darby happened to be a young man who, just like every other person, was trying to make something out of life. In those days, it was the days of the gold rush. That is the early 19th century, days of the wild, wild west. And Darby had an uncle, and the uncle called him and said, "Hey, Darby, let's move on." So they took up their journey and left from Maryland, and they moved to Colorado in search of gold. So he and his uncle, they went and got a piece of land, and they found what we call the ore. They found out the ore, and they took it to a smelter to determine the content of the gold right in the earth. So they got it, determined the content of the gold, and the result came back from the laboratory that there existed a huge mass of gold. Tons of gold was in that land. So they went, sold quite a number of things, bought equipment, and they began to dig. And as they dug through, and they were led by the gold vein. You know, when you dig looking for gold, you have to look and search through the gold vein. So they dug and went and continued. At the point, they now lost the gold vein. When they lost the gold vein, they were discouraged. But they kept digging. They kept digging and digging and digging, trying to discover this gold vein. Now, this story I'm telling you is a true life story. And that's why I'm starting out from there. So at the point, he and his uncle got tired. And they went and sold the land, sold the equipment, and just like every other person, they felt so discouraged, they felt so bad, and they took off and went back to Maryland. But when they were selling, they sold the place to a junk man who bought it for a few $100s. The equipment, the land, and all. So when this junk man bought it, he just got a mining engineer, a specialist, to find, and the specialist got to the land, and found an error that they made. They moved off the gold vein, and there was a fault line wherein they drifted away. You will not believe, beloved, as the junk man began to dig just 3 feet. 1, 2, 3. Just 3 feet away. The man discovered the gold vein again, and having discovered the gold vein, he dug a little bit more, and there was a deposit of gold. Huge deposit of gold. And at the end of the day, the man sold and made millions of dollars. Now that he had traveled back, and when he had, it was very painful. And he learned a very, very hard lesson. And what's the lesson that he learned? That he was not persistent enough. He learned that very difficult lesson, that he wasn't persistent enough. Eventually, he now went and became an insurance salesman. So each time he went to talk to people about sales, and people tell him no, he had learned his lesson. And he eventually became a very successful salesperson. He sold over $1 million worth of life insurance each year. Every year, he sold not less than $1 million worth of life insurance. And there and then, why? Because he learned the lesson the hard way. He learned the lesson the hard way. Now, why did I have to start with this story? I have to start with this story because it's a reflection of a good number of us. It's a reflection of a good number of us. A lot of us have fantastic plans. We have great dreams. A lot of us, at the beginning of this year, we have mapped out our plan and what we want to achieve. Many of us are even in the right direction. But one thing is lacking, and that is the capacity and the ability to hold on to our dream, to hold on to our visions, and to hold on to those things that we have gotten in the secret place that we now want to embark upon. Many of us fall into this example. It looks very painful. We know when I read it, I screamed. 3 feet away from a gold mine, huge, massive, and it just turned back. Why? Because it was not just persistent enough. So, when we look at persistence, you realize that it's a life key that everybody must have. Persistence, you could say it's a process wherein you follow through with a goal, with a dream. And it's important for us all to know that to succeed in life, you need to be ambitious. However, without persistence, your ambition will only end up to be a mirage. It's good to be ambitious. It's good to have dreams. But without that element, that ingredient of persistence, you realize that it becomes a mirage. Hence, persistence can be said to be the driver that drives our dream and our goal to the place of destination. It is the vehicle that takes us above discouragement, seemingly impossible obstacles. It's the vehicle that takes us away from obstacles, that takes us ahead, that takes us over obstacles, inhibitions, and all. And let me tell you sincerely, friends, it is that which distinguishes between the weak and the strong mind. The weak mind gives in so quickly, but it is the strong mind that stays closely with something and sees it through. In fact, it is that which makes the difference between a mature person and an immature person. Is that what makes a difference? When you look at a kid, a young child who is not mature, you realize that the concentration span is very low. But an adult can stay with something, a mature person can stay with something and see it through. So when you want to find out or you discover that you are in a venture and it's like you're quick to go in and quick to come out, it is an indication that you are not mature. It's an indication that you are not tenacious. It's an indication that you are not strong enough to break the bone that you intend to break. I had a story some time ago of the current president of the United States, that's Donald Trump, how he stayed with a real estate business that was not pulling through, and he stayed with it tenaciously for over 15 years. How many people can actually stay with a transaction and stay in the transaction for over 15 years? Many people say, I think it's not the way for me. But I tell you sincerely, if you are going to get to where you desire to get to, and you are going to make a difference, you must have that ingredient, the quality that we call persistence. It is that we distinguish, it makes the difference between the weak mind and the strong mind. A lot of people say energy is good. Yes, energy is good, but I want to tell you, friends, energy is not enough. But energy and persistence is what conquers all things. Energy with persistence is what conquers all things. If you are a student or you want to sit for a difficult examination, difficult in quotes, I tell you sincerely, you may have the energy. But if you are not persistent, you will realize that with a little obstacle, you may give in. You may give in and walk away from such a fantastic dream. So sound planning, focus, and good direction. Sound planning, focus, and good direction, like we've already said, without persistence, ends up to be a mirage. It ends up to be a mirage. So please note that success is not the absence of failure. It's the ability to persist through failure that makes a success. Success is not the absence of failure, but it is the persistence through failure that makes people to succeed. For the fact that you have failed, failure is not a destination. It's just a journey. It's not a place where you dwell. It's just an event that will come and will go. Several times, maybe a couple of us here have failed one paper or the other, one examination or the other. But you don't quit because of that. You still go through. You still go through. You still go through. You might not have even failed an examination before, but there may be things that are challenging you that is kind of bringing you to a point where you think you're going to fail or you have failed. Now I'll tell you sincerely, failure is not an absence. Success is not an absence of failure, but failure. Success is when you're able to run through persistently through failure. And something just drops my heart now. Possibly you are here. Your marriage possibly is going through a storm. Your marriage possibly is going through a challenge. And you think, I'm done. I want to walk out. I want to quit. I want to tell you, don't do that. Because where you think you are going to, you will still see things that's going to challenge you the more. It's always greener on the other side until you get there. So, are you going through a strange challenge in your marriage? Please stay there. Persist. Work it out. Make up your mind. I'm going to work it out. I'm not going to fail. If at all you're going to fail, make sure you fail forward. You know, sometimes people want to fail, they fail backward. If you're going to fail forward, that means you fail forward, you get up again, and you continue in your journey. So it is important for you to know that talents and giftings may take you to the top. Your talents and your giftings may take you to the top so fast. But talents and giftings may not sustain you consistently on top. It is persistence that keeps you on top. It is persistence that keeps you on top. A little more persistence with effort, you will realize that a hopeless, failed situation becomes a glorious success. Just a little bit of more persistence and a little bit of effort, you will discover that a glorious success will come out of that very situation. So all success is all about the right direction, persisting in the right direction on the long term. Staying in the right direction on the long run. It's not a 100-meter dash. It's a marathon run. It's a marathon race. You keep at it, and you move on. You keep at it, and you move on. So it is important for every one of us to know, just like people would say, that God is omnipotent. Yeah, what does it mean to be omnipotent? He's the all-powerful God. He's the omnipotent. But that's God, the Almighty God. But you know what? Because He also, every one of us, we are created in His image. We are created in His likeness. You also can be omnipotent. And how can you? You can only do that through persistence and endurance. When you persist and you endure, it makes you omnipotent. It brings you in the class of God. It brings you in the class of God. That's why it's very important. Marital love is largely the act of persistence. Keep at it, you keep at it, and you move on. You keep at it, and you move on. So it is important for every one of us to know, just like people would say, that God is omnipotent. Yeah, what does it mean to be omnipotent? He's the all-powerful God. He's the omnipotent God. That's God, the Almighty God. But you know what? Because He also, every one of us, we are created in His image. We are created in His likeness. You also can be omnipotent. And how can you? You can only do that through persistence and endurance. When you persist and you endure, it makes you omnipotent. It brings you in the class of God. It brings you in the class of God. That's why it's very important. Marital love is largely the act of persistence. And I want everyone to know, when you are courting your spouse at the early stage, it's like the butterfly is not only in your belly, it's all over your face, it's in your bones, it's in the mouth, it's all over. You could stay on the phone for hours. In fact, some even take time overnight, keep talking, and you wake up in the morning, you have a very grotto morning. And you say, what have I done with the night? I was actually on the phone with Betty. But you know what? After a lot of people now get married, they expect the butterfly to still stay there. A lot of people forget to know that love is something you work on. Love grows. Love grows. There is any marital love that is based on butterfly, always on the inside of you. Check it very well. It's likely going to be infatuation. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have that butterfly when you see your spouse. You must always work. You must always have it. But what I'm saying is, it involves persistence. Because you see each other every day, you wake up, you see him. Possibly before you got married, you didn't know that he snores. And then after you got married, you now realize he snores, and you want to use your leg to push him off the bed. Say, hey, push him off the bed. No, you have to persist. Possibly, he's someone who you have said, let's all put things arranged properly. And he comes back and he drops things here and there. And now look at it, but I never knew this part of you. Oh, it takes a lot of hard work. You have to persist. And that is what is lacking. And that is why we realize that the rate of divorce is on the increase in our days. Because that element of our persistence is no longer there. It's no longer there. Everybody wants it quick. I feel it, I'm in marriage. I don't feel it any longer, I want to go out. Say, why do you want to leave? I say, I don't feel it again. Say, why don't you feel it? Marital love is largely an act of persistence. So in every situation, you have to stay. Once you know you have a right plan, you have the right direction, and then you are focused, the next element you need is to persist. It is very important. Persistence in every area. From your negative nature, possibly you want to change a nature. It's not just easy to change a nature within you. You have to persist consistently, because several of those acts is what eventually makes a habit out of you. Your dreams, you have to persist. Your plans, you have to persist. Or do you even have a vision or goal?
Take dominion on all God's creations. Never give up. Your destiny's your life. So always be strong. Keep moving on. Your dreams will always come true. You'll get there if you believe. So rise up and be strong. listening to Pastor Lanre Ajanaku